A question I've seen asked a lot is, how does something like the Death Star or Starkiller Base move around? Do they have hyperdrives? Well, yes, they do. We don't know much about Starkiller's hyperdrive other than that it exists, but I can tell you about the Death Star's hyperdrive based on Legends information. We do know that the Death Stars in canon had hyperdrives, we just don't know anything else about them, so Legends it is. The original Death Star had two hyperdrives, a primary and a backup. The primary hyperdrive had a class rating of 4, and the backup had a class rating of 20. I'm going to go ahead and admit that I can't explain hyperspace incredibly well, but the whole rating system basically works like this. The speed of light is considered a class 1. Anything lower than that means it's moving faster than the speed of light. So the Millennium Falcon, for example, had a class of 0.5. So it travels at twice the speed of light. The Death Star's rating of 4 means it moves at approximately a quarter the speed of light, which explains why the Death Star arrived at Yavin well after the Falcon, despite having tracked the ship. There's just no way something the size of the Death Star would have a hyperdrive that fast. I'm impressed it had a class 4, frankly. And the second Death Star did receive an upgrade to a class 3. By the time of The Force Awakens, the technology had reached a point where a whole planet could move through hyperspace, which is fortunate because a weapon that drains a star would be pretty useless if it were just stuck in one system. Also, while we're talking about hyperspace, technically Starkiller's actual beam traveled through hyperspace, even though it was visible to the naked eye. That's really just an explanation for how it could destroy planets all the way across the galaxy in a matter of moments. Plus, it just looks cooler to actually see the destruction than to just have an invisible beam vaporize a few planets. Did I say cool? I meant tragic. Very tragic. But to go back to the Death Star and take a look at Rogue One, could we see the Death Star enter hyperspace in the film? It's certainly possible, and I definitely think it would be a sight to see. In all of the Star Wars canon, the Death Star has been to Geonosis, Scarif, Jedha, Alderaan, Yavin, and maybe more. In Rogue One alone, I believe we'll see it at Scarif and Jedha at least. I, for one, would absolutely love to see something of that size actually enter Lightspeed. I feel like it would be a little more grand and important somehow. That's it for today. If you want to learn more about the Death Stars, I've been covering a lot of information on them in preparation for Rogue One, so you can check out some of those here. If you haven't already, please make sure you like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.